What does CPCB stand for? Central Pollution Control Board. Then CNG, compressed natural gas. What is pollution? Any undesirable change in the physical, biological, chemical characteristics of air, water and soil is called as pollution. In order to protect our environment from the pollution, so there was an Environment Protection Act which was introduced in 1986. Hi everyone, welcome back to the revision class of 2nd PUC Biology, chapter 16 called Environmental Issues. Myself, B. Shobharani from the Department of Biology, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, which is called the Temple of Excellence in Mysuru. What am I going to discuss in this particular chapter from examination point of view? As you all know that the weightage of marks for this particular chapter is 6 marks. So what is the total weightage of marks for this chapter called Environmental Issues? It is 6 marks, that is 1 marker question 1 and 5 marker question 1 question. But again, as I keep telling you all, in 5 marker question it might be 2 plus 2 plus 1 or 3 plus 2, that is equal to 5 marks. So even split questions might also be asked, or it might be asked for full 5 marks. So the weightage of marks for this particular chapter is 6 marks, 1 marker question 1 and the 5 mark. In 5 marker question it might be total 5 marks, or it might be for 2 plus 2 plus 1 or 3 plus 2, that is equal to 5 marks, right? Now moving on to the chapter introduction. What is environmental issues? We all know that environment plays a very great role for the living organism. There is always an interaction between the living organisms and the environment. So environmental issues are the harmful effects of human activities on the environment. Environment is facing a lot of problems due to anthropogenic actions or through anthropogenic activities, that is due to human activities. And what are environmental issues? Environmental issues are the harmful effects of human activities on the environment. What are they? They include pollution, very important. Pollution is the root cause for, and it is one of the environmental issue. Then overpopulation is causing pollution. Then waste disposal is again a challenge. The amount of waste, that is waste or garbage, that is generated in everyday life, the disposal of that garbage is again a challenge. Then climate change, we see a lot of climatic changes due to environmental pollution. And we also see the global warming, that is the heating up of the earth's surface due to greenhouse effect. Then the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is the gradual increasing in the earth's temperature due to greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbons, etc. Then we all know that how important and healthy environment is. A healthy environment will supply all the necessities of life, may it be water, may it be food and air. Then it also provides what the natural resources what we human beings are enjoying in our everyday life. It is because of the nature or because of the environment. So it also provides what? Resources for economic growth and the means to fight natural hazards. We all know that many medicinal plants are grown in the environment, in nature, which play a great role in curing many diseases. So a variety of environmental problems now affect our entire world. There are many environmental issues, like it might be air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, soil pollution, etc. Now let us discuss one by one all these in this particular chapter called environmental issues. Air pollution. First of all, what is pollution? Any undesirable change in the physical, biological, chemical characteristics of air, water and soil is called as pollution. And what is a pollutant? It might be a gas or a liquid that is going to be added to the environment in large quantities and disturb and cause an unhealthy environment is called as a pollutant. So what is air pollution? Pollution, it is an undesirable change in the air caused due to various pollutants is called as air pollution. As we all know that air is very important for the living organisms. As we breathe air, air contains oxygen, which is the prime requirement for the living organism. Causes of air pollution. There are many causes for air pollution, particularly then I think all of us know, due to overpopulation, the use of vehicles, the burning of the fossil fuels is causing air pollution because it contains more of carbon monoxide, unburnt hydrocarbons, posing a threat to the air and causing many respiratory diseases, breathing problems, etc. to the human beings. Now, and even the particulate matter that is let off through the industries is also a cause for air pollution. What will be the effects of air pollution? As I already said, it is going to affect not only the animals but also the plants. So, it affects animals and plants in various ways. Then control of air pollution. How do we control air pollution? So, we can prevent air pollution. For example, I think all of us know the particulate matter. The dust contains very minute particulate matter which cannot be removed very easily. So, for that we can use electrostatic precipitators, or we can use scrubbers which remove the particulate matter from the gas or from the exhaust through electrostatic charges and collecting the dust particles on the charged plates. So, we can use electrostatic precipitators, or even we can use scrubbers. Then factors affecting air pollution. As I already said, the factors that affect the air pollution is the industrial effluents that are let off, that is the gases that are coming out from the exhaust will definitely pollute the air. Then measures taken by the government to control air pollution. As I already said, the government of India and the state government have come up with many strategies to prevent air pollution. So anyhow in the further question when I discuss, I'll explain a case study of controlling vehicular air pollution in Delhi. As we know, Delhi, a capital city, is the most air polluted city in our country. So imagine how such a place called Delhi, which is highly polluted, polluted city, what are the measures taken by the government to reduce the air pollution in Delhi? Now, noise pollution. So, any undesirable change in the noise. Noise is what? Undesirable sound that is called as what? Noise pollution. Causes of noise pollution, as you know, the vehicles that are playing, the sound, the horn, the honking of the vehicles, the sound that is caused by the vehicles that ply on the road is also causing the noise pollution. And also the big machines that run in the industries also cause noise pollution, and even the burning of crackers, etc. are all, many causes are there for noise pollution. Then effects of noise pollution. Definitely it is going to affect the human body. It causes sleeplessness and it alters the breathing pattern, etc. Then control of noise pollution. As I said, the noise pollution, there are many measures taken by the government to prevent the noise pollution, like the loudspeaker should not be allowed to be played after a particular time. Then even the sound level for burning of crackers also should be fixed. And even the like for example, we need to discriminate the horn free zones, like for example the hospital, the school zone, etc. So even the vehicles also which ply on the road, like the honking, unnecessary honking should be avoided. So all these are the important measures that need to be taken to control noise pollution. Next, water pollution. As we all know that water is the prime requirement for the living organisms, and the water bodies, may it be a river or a lake or a pond, are polluted by various factors. So what are the sources of water pollution? As we all know that one important source is the domestic sewage. The sewage is nothing but a domestic waste which contains organic matter, including the human fecal matter as well as the microorganisms. So effects of water pollution. So as we know, when the water bodies are polluted, obviously it will be unfit for human consumption, and also the aquatic animals like fishes will die due to the toxic substances that are found in the water body through the sewage water, or even the industrial effluents that will send the water to the effluents are let off into the water bodies. So all that are the root causes, and even it depletes the water from oxygen, thereby killing the aquatic animals. Then biological oxygen demand, very important. As we all know that more the organic matter in the water, and more will be the BOD, biological oxygen demand. We can also measure the rate of water pollution by BOD. More the BOD, that means more organic nutrients are found in the water body. That means to say the sewage is more, and even the industrial effluents are more in the water body. Lesser the BOD, lesser will be the water pollution. Then eutrophication. Eutrophication is nothing but aging of the lake by the nutrients that are added to the water bodies. Then algal blooms. As we know, the algal blooms are nothing but the undesirable growth of plants that are grown on the, that develop on the surface of the water, and they are also the root cause for, it's nothing but the unpleasant growth or undesirable growth of algae on the water surface. And you know, it, for example, like we have heard about water hyacinth, so which is called the terror of Bengal, or the water hyacinth or Iconia, which grows luxuriously on the surface of the water body, depleting the water with oxygen, and even if it decays, it makes water unfit for consumption even for the animals. Then a case study of integrated waste treatment, which was done by a group called FOAM, that is Friends of Arcata Marsh, in the northern coast of California. Then ecological sanitation and its advantages. Particularly, disposal of human excreta is again a big challenge, and many strategies have been made. For example, like eco-sand toilets have come into implementation. And what are the advantages of using an eco-sand toilet, which is also introduced in Kerala and Karnataka? Then solid waste. Any waste that goes to the trash, we use it as solid waste. Solid waste might be a biodegradable or it might be non-biodegradable. So what are the methods of solid waste disposal? We have to differentiate or discriminate the wet weight from the dry weight so that the disposal will be quite easy. And a case study for ready plastic waste, which was done by Ahmad Khan. So he came out with a substance called polyblend, which was a recycled plastic waste which was developed in his company, and this polyblend was mixed with bitumen, which was used to lay the roads, and it was more water repellent, and at the same time it gave more road life. So the case study of ready for plastic waste, which was implemented by Ahmad Khan, also you are going to study in this particular chapter. Then agrochemicals and their effects. So as we know, increased use of pesticides, then insecticides, then inorganic fertilizers is going to cause soil pollution. So we have to use lesser, like for example, we need to go for organic farming. Biomagnification, use of, as we know, more and more nutrients, like for example, more of the chemicals are let off into the soil body. Then organic farming, like you know, organic farming will have less side effects, that because it's a natural manure what we use for organic farming, and lesser use of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers will definitely not affect the plants, obviously even the animals who consume it. Then a case study of integrated organic farming, which was done by Ramesh Chandra Dagar of Sonipat, also you are going to study in this particular chapter. Then radioactive waste. The radioactive waste that are let off will also pose a threat to the environment. So effects of radioactive waste, they contain toxic metals, and definitely they're going to affect the human body and even the animals that survive on the earth. So methods of radioactive disposal, where it has to be disposed in big containers, and they have to be kept in a pit more than 500 meters below the rocks. All that methods need to be implemented to eliminate or to dispose the radioactive waste. Greenhouse effect. What is greenhouse effect? The warming of the Earth's surface by greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, then methane, then CFC, chlorofluorocarbons, water, vapor, etc. All these we call it as greenhouse effect. These are all called greenhouse gases. The warming up of the Earth's surface by greenhouse gases is called global warming, or global warming is the warming up of the Earth's surface due to greenhouse effect. So effects of global warming, control of global warming, all that is been studied in this particular chapter. Anyhow, when I discuss the questions also, we'll come across. So that was a short, brief synopsis part of this particular chapter called environmental pollution. Now let us discuss about 1-marker questions. how is snow blindness caused in humans? Snow blindness is caused by a high dose of UVB radiation. As we all know that the deadly rays that, for example, if at all, if the ozone layer depletes, if there is a ozone hole, as we all know that directly the sun rays are going to reach the earth's surface and going to cause lot of diseases in human beings. One such is called snow blindness, right? So how is snow blindness caused? Snow blindness is caused by a high dose of UV radiation. Then what is the objective of Environmental Protection Act? In order to protect our environment from the pollution, so there was an Environment Protection Act which was introduced in 1986, passed by Government of India to control what? Environmental pollution and protect and improve the quality of an environment, that is air, water and soil. So what is the objective of Environmental Protection Act? Passed by the Government of India to control environmental pollution and to protect and improve the quality of an environment, may it be air, water or soil. Next, expand CP, CB and CNG. What does CP, CB stand for and what is CNG? As I told, in Delhi now, use the vehicle, instead of using petrol and diesel, they use the CNG, that is called compressed natural gas. So expand CP, CB. C stands for central, P stands for pollution, C stands for control and B stands for board. So what is CP, CB stand for? Central Pollution Control Board. Then CNG, compressed natural gas. Next, what are catalytic converters? Even this is one such, measure which is implemented by the government in Delhi to reduce the air pollution. So what is this catalytic converter? How does it reduce the air pollution? What is catalytic converter? It is a device incorporated in the exhaust system of a motor. What is this doing? It is going to convert the more toxic gases that come out from the exhaust into less toxic substances. So, containing catalyst for converting pollutant into less harmful ones. So, when this catalytic converter is implemented into the vehicles, the toxic gases that come out from the exhaust will be reduced to some extent. So, this is also one method to prevent air pollution in Delhi. Next, what is Water Act? As we all know that all these rules and regulations are made to prevent our environment from destruction. So one such is Water Act, which is implemented to prevent water from pollution. So Government of India passed Water Act, that is Prevention and Control Pollution, in 1974 to safeguard the water resources. Imagine like a famous river like Ganga, Yamuna are being polluted. So these are the major rivers of our country which are polluted by human activities. So if at all, if Water Act is not implemented, I think definitely the famous rivers of our country will be polluted. Next, expand foam. As I said, Friends of the Arcata Marsh, which came out with the integrated system of organic farming. Then, what is global warming? Already I said, what is global warming? Increase in the temperature of Earth's surface due to effect of greenhouse gases is known as what? Global warming. Increase in the temperature of the Earth's surface due to greenhouse gases. What are the greenhouse gases? Carbon dioxide, methane, CFC, etc. All those are called greenhouse gases. Now, why is Amrita Devi Bishnoi Wildlife Protection Award given for? We already know that the one sector of the people who try to protect the environment, that is the Amrita Devi Bishnoi Wildlife Protection Act, is given to individual or communities that show extraordinary courage and dedication in protection of wildlife. The Chipko movement, right, which was introduced by them. Next, what is the objective of joint forest management introduced in 1980 by the Government of India? So JFM stands for what? JFM stands for Joint Forest Management. Joint Forest Management. Protecting and managing, the very word itself will tell you. Joint forest management means what? Protecting and managing forests, In return, local people get benefit of various products like fruits, gum, rubber, medicine, etc. Obviously, when we protect our nature, we are directly benefited by the nature with many products made be like the fruits, gum, rubber, medicine, etc. Next, what is meant by zoom cultivation, which is also called as slash and burn cultivation? So it is slash and burn practiced by the tribal groups in northeastern India is known as what? Zoom cultivation. Next, for 5-marker question, as I said, this chapter has a weightage of 6 marks, like 1-marker question and 5-marker question. So, what initiatives were taken for reducing vehicular air pollution in Delhi? Has air quality improved in Delhi? That is a question mark. Now, what are the initiatives taken by the government of India in Delhi to reduce air pollution? Passing out old vehicles, that is the old vehicles which use the old engines. So old engines are that is they are removed. That is passing out of old vehicles. They are not supposed to use old vehicles having old engines. Then use of lead-free petrol. Using more of unleaded petrol, use of CNG, study reducing sulfur and aromatic content in petrol and diesel fuels. For example, like sulfur reduced to 350 parts per minute in diesel, then sulfur reduced to 150 ppm in petrol, aromatic hydrocarbons to be reduced to 42%, upgradation of vehicle engine should be upgraded, then application of Euro 2 norms for vehicles, use of CNG, that is the compressed natural gas for public transport instead of petrol, use of catalytic converter for vehicles. So all these are the methods that were implemented to reduce air pollution in Delhi. Now, write a note on electrostatic precipitator. As I said, the dust contains particulate matter in the gases and the exhaust that are eliminated from the industries. So how to remove this particulate matter? So one such is what? Using of electrostatic converter, which removes the particulate matter from the gases or the exhaust through electrostatic charges, and where the dust particles get attached to the charged plates. So write a note on electrostatic precipitator. So one such is also scrubber. So here, this is electrostatic precipitator. So write a note on electrostatic precipitator. It is a kind of arrestor. Arrest what? The dust the particulate matter that is found in the dust is arrested. Then it is used to remove particulate matter. Can remove 99% of particulate matter present in exhaust from a thermal power plant. So here you can see discharge corona negatively charged wire, as I said, it removes the dust particles that is coming from the exhaust through what? Through electrostatic charger. Next, electrode wires that are maintained in it are of several thousand volts, which produce a corona releaser, and this is the corona which is going to, here you can see negatively charged where the dust particles are attracted. So this is the collection plate where the dust minute particulate matter are collected. Electrons are attached to dust particles and give them a net negative charges. Here you can see positively charged collecting plates attract the charged dust particles here. Then the velocity of air between the plates must be low enough to allow the dust to fall. So this is the methodology. This is the working of the electrostatic precipitator. Now, next question. Write a note on integrated wastewater treatment which was done by the Arcata, was done by the foam. So it is done in town of Arcata in northern east coast of California. Here sewage is treated by artificial and natural method. It has 2 stages of treatment. That is, one is called the conventional method, the other one is called the innovative approach. So what was that done in the conventional method? It involves sedimentation, filtering and chlorine treatment. So here the water is treated with, what is the first thing involved? Sedimentation, filtration and chlorine treatment. Here sewage is subjected to what? Removing organic matter, grit and microbes. So what was the innovative approach? They developed in a series of 6 connected marshes over 60 hectares of marshland. Then appropriate plants, algae, fungi and bacteria are seeded in this area which neutralize, absorb and assimilate the pollutants. So water flows through the marshes, it gets purified naturally. Then marshes also contribute as what? Sanctuary with high level of biodiversity in the form of what? Fishes. Obviously, when the water is less polluted, we'll have more living aquatic organisms like the fishes, animals and birds that are now residing there. Now, next question. What is global warming? List out the 4 strategies for reducing global warming and the impact of global warming. Increase in the temperature of Earth's surface due to the effect of greenhouse gases is known as what? Global warming. So what are the strategies that are implemented to reduce the global warming? Reducing the use of fossil fuels, burning of fossil fuels, improving the efficiency of engines and turbines so that less toxic gases are let out, then reducing deforestation, then by afforestation by planting more trees, then limiting population size. Obviously, overpopulation leads to pollution, and using renewable energy resources, then reducing use of nitrogen fertilizers. Then impact on the global warming. Melting of glaciers and Himalayas will result in flooding of coastal areas. Over many years, this will result in rise in sea level that submerges coastal areas. Deleterious changes in the environment results in odd climatic changes, which we call it as El Nino effect. Now, at the end of this chapter called Environmental Pollution, which is having a weightage of 6 marks, what are the learning outcomes? What are you going to learn at the end of this chapter? What are the concepts you are going to learn? Define pollution and pollutants. Enumerate the causes and effects of air pollution on living organism. Describe the use of electrostatic. Already I said, in order to reduce air pollution, one such use is electrostatic precipitators and scrubbers in removal of pollution from industrial exhaust. Then enumerate the steps taken by Delhi government to reduce vehicular air pollution and its effect on the atmosphere. As we know, many people are facing a lot of respiratory problems due to the increase in the air pollution in Delhi. Describe the major pollutants in sewage water and their effects on aquatic organisms. Describe algal bloom, eutrophication and biomagnification. Describe the ways and means to reduce production of solid waste and methods to dispose them. Define e-waste, that is electronic waste, and the disposal in developed and developing countries. Describe the greenhouse gases, greenhouse effect and global warming, its effect on environment and living organism. Explain the importance of ozone layer, very important. As we know, the ozone layer is depleting due to the use of CFC. As we know, one chlorine molecule can destroy large molecules of O3 molecules. So imagine what will happen if there is a ozone depletion in the stratosphere, and its depletion causes and effects on the national efforts to reduce emission of ozone depleting substances. Now, instead of using CFC, they are using HFC, hydrogen fluorocarbons. So CFC is replaced by HFC. Then enumerate the causes and ill effects of deforestation, methods to conserve forests, along with examples, participation in the process of conservation of forests. All these are the important concepts what you are going to study in this chapter called Environmental Issues. At the end, let us recap with a flow chart. What are the concepts we learnt in this particular chapter? Composition of wastewater. So when we say wastewater, what will it have? I think impurities with 0.1% will be unfit for human consumption. So imagine suspended solids, example like sand, salt and clay. Colloidal material, example like fecal matter, bacteria, cloth and paper fibers. Dissolved materials might be like nutrients like nitrate, ammonia, phosphate, sodium, calcium. All this is going to contaminate water. Now, pollution and its types. So what are the types of pollution? You will come across noise pollution, water pollution, air pollution, soil pollution and radioactive waste. Then greenhouse effect and ozone depletion causes what? Global warming, ozone depletion in stratosphere, formation of ozone hole, everything. Then degradation by improper resource utilization and maintenance will lead to what? Soil erosion, desertification, water logging, soil salinity and deforestation. Hope you all have understood the important concepts what I have discussed pertaining to this very important chapter of second PUC biology, that is environmental issues. I also have discussed some of the type of questions which might be asked in the board examination, or what are the important concepts you are going to study in this particular chapter called environmental issues. Thank you.